Hello guys! Welcome to Sissygram Genderbender Stories on YouTube. Today, I am bringing you a brand new genderbender story. If you like my voice, please hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates. Now, let's start the story. Alex's footsteps echoed through the old, dusty attic as he sifted through the forgotten items stored in cardboard boxes. Sunlight filtered through a grimy window, casting a glow on the swirling dust particles that danced around him. His task was to clear out the clutter, but each time he opened a box, he found something intriguing, hidden treasures from the past. His hands finally landed on something peculiar, a leather-bound book with strange symbols etched into the cover. It seemed to vibrate with a subtle energy, and Alex's curiosity was piqued. As he opened the book, the old, yellowed pages rustled, revealing intricate drawings and flowing text. His eyes widened when he saw the title Codex of Transmutation. His pulse quickened as he realized this was a real spellbook. Although magic seemed impossible to him, he couldn't ignore the pull to try it for himself. Maybe it wasn't fake after all. With a mix of skepticism and excitement, Alex focused on a simple spell for transmutation. He whispered, "The incantation Mutatio Dati," envisioning his index finger stretching. To his astonishment, he felt a tingling sensation, and before his eyes, his finger grew a full inch longer. This was real. His heart raced with excitement, and the possibilities felt endless. He could become anyone, anything. But he needed to be cautious, starting small with his experiments. He tucked the book into his bag, eager to test it further in private. Later that night, Alex immersed himself in the book's contents, performing small transformations, altering his hair color, clearing up his skin, even giving himself perfect vision. With each success, his excitement grew. Over the next few days, his experiments became bolder. He made himself taller, more muscular, and even experimented with different ethnicities. But one transformation lingered in his mind, changing his gender. The idea both terrified and intrigued him. What would it feel like to experience life as a girl, even just for a short time? The spell for gender transformation seemed more complicated than the others, but the temptation was too strong. Finally, Alex, heart racing, recited the spell, imagining a female version of himself. A dizzying sensation overtook him as his body shifted and reshaped. He squeezed his eyes shut, overwhelmed by the strange sensations. When the tingling subsided, he opened his eyes and looked into the mirror. The face staring back at him was unmistakably feminine. Delicate features, full lips, long lashes framing white eyes, and chestnut hair cascading past slim shoulders. Alex, now realizing that she needed a new name, whispered, "Alina." The name felt right, natural, even though it came unbidden. She marveled at her new form, running her hands over her soft skin and feeling her body shift in new ways. A laugh bubbled from her chest. This was real, and she was a girl. Alina spent the next few hours exploring her transformed body, experimenting with clothes, makeup, and even her voice. It was both exhilarating and terrifying. But as the novelty wore off, doubts crept in. This transformation was only supposed to be temporary, right? Yet, part of her didn't want to go back. She decided to stay in her new form for the night and reverse the spell in the morning. But when she awoke, she found the transformation hadn't worn off. Panic gripped her as she realized she couldn't change back. Frantically searching the spellbook for a reversal incantation, Alina tried to recite it over and over, but nothing worked. She cried in despair, realizing the truth: the transformation had become permanent. She was stuck like this. A knock on her door startled her. Her father's voice called out, "Alex, you up? You're going to be late for school." Alina's heart stopped. She couldn't go to school like this, not with her family and friends seeing her as a girl. She feigned illness, her higher-pitched voice betraying her as she lied about needing to stay home. When her mother offered to come in, Alina panicked further, insisting she was fine and just needed to rest. After the door closed, Alina was left with the haunting realization that she couldn't hide forever. The day passed in a blur of anxiety and disbelief. Alina searched the spellbook, but it offered no solutions. As evening approached, she knew she couldn't keep hiding. She had to face her family, her friends, and the world as Alina. The thought terrified her, but what choice did she have? Steeling herself, Alina went downstairs, where her parents gasped in shock when they saw her. Her father asked in a confused voice, "Alex, what happened to you?" Alina tried to explain, but her words seemed too crazy to believe. Magic, transformation spells, yet the evidence was undeniable. The next few days were filled with tears, arguments, and frantic phone calls to doctors who couldn't explain what had happened. Friends didn't know how to react, and rumors swirled through the community. But slowly, life began to settle into a new normal. Alina's parents, though still struggling, did their best to support her. Legal documents were updated, and she was given new clothes. They even made plans for her to return to school. Her first day back was overwhelming. Whispers and stares followed her through the hallways, and some of her male friends couldn't even look her in the eye, while others made insensitive comments. One of her friends, Tyler, awkwardly approached her, asking, "So, you're really stuck like this, huh?" Alina nodded, her throat tight, and replied, "Looks that way." The day was a struggle, but as it wore on, Alina found herself connecting with the girls in her classes. They seemed more accepting of her situation, and she began to open up to them, sharing her fears and frustrations. During lunch, Alina confided in her new friend Anna. "Everything's different now. I don't know how to be a girl," she admitted. Anna gave her a sympathetic smile and reassured her, "None of us really know what we're doing either. We're all just figuring it out as we go along." It was a simple statement, but it brought Alina a sense of comfort. Maybe she wasn't as alone in this as she had thought. As the weeks passed, Alina adapted to her new life. She learned about makeup, fashion, and the physical changes she now faced. But dating was a confusing aspect of her new reality. She found herself questioning her own feelings. Did she like boys, girls, neither? How could she even begin to explain her situation to anyone she dated? Her first crush as a girl was Tom, someone she had always known as a casual friend. Suddenly, she noticed how he smiled and the way his hand felt when it brushed against hers. One day after class, Tom nervously asked her out on a date. Alina's heart raced, but she hesitated. She wasn't ready for a relationship. Not yet, not with everything she was still processing. "I don't know, Tom," she said, her voice uncertain. "This is all really new to me. I am not sure I am ready to date yet." Tom nodded, clearly disappointed, but understanding. Alina walked away, a mix of relief and regret settling in her chest. Was she making a mistake by not dating him? Or was she doing the right thing by taking things slowly? As time passed, Alina found herself still grappling with her identity and the lingering questions about who she was now. Her younger brother sometimes treated her like nothing had changed, while at other times he acted as if she was a complete stranger. Her parents did their best to support her, but Alina often caught them looking at her with sadness and confusion, as if mourning the boy they had lost. One night, unable to sleep, Alina ventured downstairs and found her mother sitting at the kitchen table, staring at an old photo album. Alina softly asked, "Mom, are you okay?" Her mother looked up, her eyes brimming with unshed tears. "I love you, sweetheart, no matter what," she said, "but sometimes I do miss Alex." "Is that terrible of me to say?" Alina shook her head, her own eyes filling with tears. "I miss him too," she whispered. They sat together in silence, the weight of everything that had changed heavy between them. Eventually, her mother spoke again, asking, "Are you happy, Alina?" The question caught Alina off guard. Was she happy? There were moments when being Alina felt right, but there were also moments of doubt, longing for her old life. "I don't know," she admitted. "Sometimes it's complicated." Her mother nodded, squeezing her hand. "I suppose that's true for all of us. Life is complicated. We just have to do our best with what we're given." The next day, Alina met with her guidance counselor, who suggested that she start thinking about college. Her grades were excellent, and the counselor thought she had a unique perspective to offer in her admissions essay. Alina had been looking at colleges, but the idea of starting over somewhere new was terrifying. The counselor reassured her that a fresh start could also be an opportunity to embrace who she was now, without the weight of her past. Later that night, Alina revisited the spellbook, something she hadn't done since her transformation. She hadn't wanted to risk more changes, but now, as she flipped through the pages, a small slip of paper fell out. The handwriting was faded, but legible magic always comes with a price. The changes you make may become your truth, for better or worse. Choose wisely, for the path of transmutation is not easily reversed. Alina's hands trembled as she read the note. The spellbook had been designed to make transformations permanent, not reversible. It hit her like a wave. She couldn't undo what she had done. She felt a mix of anger at her past self for being so reckless and a strange acceptance of her new reality. This was her life now. She could either spend it wishing for what had been or embrace what could be. With newfound determination, Alina focused on applying for colleges, crafting an honest essay about her journey. Several acceptance letters came, but one, from a small liberal arts college, caught her eye. The letter spoke of her unique perspective and how it would enrich the school's diverse community. The idea of moving so far from home was daunting, but something about it felt right. This was an opportunity to reinvent herself, this time on her own terms. The day Alina left for college was emotional. Her parents hugged her tightly, proud of the strength and grace she had shown. Her mother gave her a silver locket containing a photo of Alex on one side and a photo of Alina on the other. "Both parts of you are worthy of love," her mother said softly. As Alina boarded the plane, she felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. The future was uncertain, but for the first time in a long while, she felt ready to face it. Her first few weeks at college were a whirlwind of new experiences. She threw herself into her studies, joined clubs, and made new friends. Most people accepted her as Alina, without any preconceived notions about her past. One evening, while studying in the library, a classmate named Maxim sat down beside her. As they worked through the assignment, Alina found herself relaxing. Conversation flowed easily, and by the end of the night, Maxim invited Alina to grab coffee sometime. Over the next few weeks, Alina and Maxim grew closer. They spent more time together, talking late into the night. Alina found herself developing feelings for Maxim, but she was hesitant. Was this just friendship or something more? One evening, as they walked back from a movie, Maxim suddenly turned to Alina and admitted, "I really like you, Alina, as more than a friend." Alina's heart raced, but her fears held her back. What if Maxim couldn't accept her past? What if she wasn't ready for a relationship? But looking into Maxim's warm, hopeful eyes, Alina realized she was tired of letting fear control her life. Slowly, she leaned in and kissed Maxim. It was soft and sweet, and when they parted, both of them were smiling. As they walked back to the dorms hand in hand, Alina knew that she still had a lot to explain. But for now, she felt ready to embrace whatever the future held with Maxim by her side. This is where the story ends. I spend hours of effort creating these kinds of stories, so if you're new to this channel, please hit the like button and subscribe my Sissygram Genderbender Stories YouTube channel Also, don't forget to comment on what you would do if you were in his place. I'm eagerly waiting for your comments, and I personally read all of them. Okay, guys, thanks for joining. And I'll see you in the next story in the next video. Take care and bye.